And so it's okay to laugh because we're streaming. So anybody that's watching will just laugh anyway.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Board Games Are Fun podcast. And this is episode 7, starring Seigen Walker over there and co starring myself, Spencer Williams.
Hello to the universe out there from all different walks of life and all different social media platforms. How you doing out there, guys?
Well, the universe, I didn't know we could contact the universe. That's
I
pretty
I'm
fascinating.
I'm not going to get an answer back, but I'm used to that, so it's fine.
I hear you there. Very similar situation. Me hearing things, or hearing things back from other people. All right, this is off to a wonderful start. How have you been?
Oh man, I cannot complain. Just taking it one day at a time in these crazy times. How about you?
These are crazy times indeed,
Yeah.
and there are only two ways I can handle these crazy times: is my family and board games. So,
Yeah.
well, and
Thankfully that is all around you. That's the good news.
yeah, and sometimes friends.
Of course, of
Friends can be
course.
helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so as a reminder for those listening, we are recording this live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So if you're not watching live, that's always an option for you from now on as we record. It'll be every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to take messages and questions from the audience, from people watching. And not all the time, but we'll fit it in whenever it makes sense. So I'm excited to give that. Last week we got a couple people chiming in, and that was a lot of fun. And
Yeah,
so
definitely.
hopefully we'll get some people giving us some feedback and some questions and telling us how funny we are.
Yes, universe, please respond to me. Don't leave me unread, please.
Okay, well we are here to talk about falafel. It's probably the most random thing I could think of.
Okay.
No, we're going to talk about board games today. And everything that we talk about, we might not always say, hey, board games are fun, but hopefully, by the way that we talk, you will gather that what we're talking about is fun.
Yeah,
That's the
I hope
idea.
so.
Yeah, that's the idea anyway. So, and also, if you don't know, the way we do this show is we take turns organizing this show from week to week. So if it seems a little different here or there, it's because I put the show together one week and Seigen does it another week. And so this is my week to mess everything up. Um, I hope you probably heard that text message. So, speaking of messing things up, um, so what I've got planned for this show is we're going to talk about some games that we've played, and then I've got some games planned for us to play on the show,
Ooh, I'm excited.
and then a couple of topics to discuss, and and then we'll wrap it up with the awkward goodbye as usual.
We've never been good at that. Can we create a board game that works on podcast goodbyes? Because we need it.
We sure can. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started with what have you played? What is something recent that you've played that is worth mentioning on the show?
That's worth mentioning. Ooh, that's a high bar. Okay, so for me, I and I don't know if I've talked about this or not. I don't think so. I played actually last week. I played Batman Love Letter.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, it's a pretty simple game. I mean, well, and the neat thing about the Love Letter series now, because there's actually a bunch of different versions. Also, check out the Cthulhu one because that's pretty
Yeah.
sick. Or the yeah
Yeah.
Cthulhu one. It's pretty sick. And in this one, it's Batman themed, so it's a race to 7 bat tokens, and you are trying to basically just outlast everyone else, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy a break from the serious game from time to time to just play something quick and fun like that.
Yeah. It is quick and fun, and let's see, it's got that deduction element to it where you're trying to figure out what everybody else has. I like how simple it is that you've just got, well, you got a hand of two cards, right? You play one and then you draw one, something like that.
Pretty much, that's pretty
Yeah.
much all it is.
Yeah, and each card has a special ability. You're trying to basically get rid of the bad cards and hold on to the good cards, or are you trying to? discard the
Well,
hand.
basically, what's going to happen each turn, you draw to two, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have to play one. So, like, there's a bunch of Batmans in the game, and those are ones where you're trying to guess who a person is. And then there's different cards that like do other things. Like there's a Robin that protects you for a turn. There's
Mm-hmm.
a Bane where you compare hands. And basically, you're just trying to get the other people out, or through a process of making them discard their own hand, getting them out, depending on if they have the Joker card or different scenarios like that.
That's
Um,
right. It's been a
so
while since
yeah,
I played it, so it's a good refresher.
yeah, it's a neat game though. I mean, it's really easy. I mean, the rule book is literally this small,
How
which
small?
which is my favorite kind of rule book because literally I open it and then I close it. It's the best.
Yeah, we still have that one. It cracks me up. The name of the game, Batman Love Letter. It's
Yes,
perfect.
definitely.
Okay, well, I've got one next that we actually did a live stream of last week, and it's called Harry Potter House Cup Competition.
Ooh.
And this is from the op. The op likes to do. Um, Seigen is so funny. He's texting me while we do this, and he reminds me during this text that we should record the the app whenever we start recording or we start talking. So I did not push the record button.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to go too far into this, so that we like.
Well, at the very least, we could have pulled it off of YouTube and used that audio, but it wouldn't have been the best audio. So, all right, everybody that's still out there, we're not going to stop the stream. That's going to keep going, and I'll probably go in and chop it down after this is over, so that if anyone wants to watch it later on, they won't have to sit through all of that. But we're going to start over again.
Round two. Here we
Yes.
go.
Okay. All right. So let me start recording. It. I mean, it goes by. We can't ever do a show without having to start over once or
I
twice.
mean, the joy of doing it
Yeah.
live.
All right. Here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Board Games Are Fun,
Yes.
the podcast where we talk about board games and how fun they are. And the man that just shouted yes is my partner, Seigen Walker, my
Hello,
co-host.
hello out there.
You're welcome. And my name, that was not the appropriate response. Uh, my name is Spencer Williams, and we are excited to do this podcast right now, in this moment, so that we can release it to you for your ears to hear. Now,
Yes.
a quick reminder for those listening, we are recording this live in front of a YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook audience. Actually, at the moment, there's nobody listening or nobody watching. So right now, it's just us. But hopefully, we'll have people join us later and join in and maybe make some comments or some questions. And if you would like to join in on future episodes, we'd love to have you. So every Wednesday at 8 p.m., not every Wednesday, every other Wednesday at 8 p.m.,
Yes.
we record. And we'd love for you to join us. So, having said all of that, why don't we go ahead and dive into the show?
Nice.
Let's,
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
okay, so just a quick note for those that may have not have guessed this yet. Seigen and I take turns preparing the show every time we record, and this time it's mine. So if you ever hear an episode that you're like, that wasn't quite as good, it's probably one that I did.
Stop that.
So this is one that I put together. So we're going to talk about what we've played. We're gonna play a couple games, have some discussions, and then we'll wrap it up and finish it off for the people on the podcast platforms to listen to. Sound good?
That sounds so good.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
So let's get started with you. What is a game that you've played recently?
Okay, so actually, I'm gonna start off with a pretty simple one. I did Batman Love Letter recently.
Oh,
A an an oldie but a goodie. We I mean, it's a pretty simple game. You start off with two cards. It's a game that goes up to four, and you are basically just trying to outlast the other players. And the first to seven bat chips wins.
Those are cool.
Yes, that is our favorite thing to play with. And you are there's a couple different ways to win a hand, but basically you're drawing the two and going back down the one and either trying to guess what the other person has or have the higher card than them, or so on and so forth, until you win. So it's a lot of fun. We definitely enjoyed it.
That is fun. Like I said, I love how quick it is and simple, and it's got cool comic book artwork on it,
Oh yeah.
and it's a great one to play for people that are into that kind of thing, and for people who aren't. Lots of people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, next for me, I recently played with Laura, and we did a live stream of it. So if you wanted to check this out, it's on the Lighten Up Initiative YouTube channel. It's Harry Potter House Cup Competition. Now
Ooh.
this is from the op. They do a lot of Harry Potter themed games. They did Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, Harry Potter Death Eaters Rising, um, and so this is just another one. Now this one very different from the other ones. This is more of a Euro style game. So this is a worker placement game, and you're going around. Everybody is a team. One of the houses from the movies. We've got Slytherin, Gryffindor,
Gryffindor,
Hufflepuff,
that's me.
Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. And so you pick one of these teams to play as, and you've got like three characters, three, you know, famous characters from the shows. And you're going around the school. You're like learning lessons and gaining knowledge and magic. And so what you're trying to do is make your characters better in different aspects of the school. So you want to raise their potion skills. You want to raise their charm skills and their defense skills. And so you have to work to move their skills up so that you can complete challenges at the end of each round. And so the challenges will give you points, and a couple other things will give you points. But mainly, you're placing your students out on the board, getting stuff to improve stuff, to defeat stuff. Pretty simple, smooth moving game. But if you like Harry Potter, you might enjoy this game. The theme is not super duper thick. It's kind of thin, but it's still a fun game. So that was Harry Potter House Cup Competition.
Nice. A second chance at school, which I know I need because I really didn't try hard the first time. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awkward. Anyway. Another game I played recently, actually, now I'm gonna shift it this time and actually go with an app that I played recently. Because the last gaming session I had, I kind of did some repeats of ones I've talked about on the podcast before. So I actually did Potion Explosion um, a couple of nights ago at the house, just
Cool.
me. And so I really like the app. There's nothing like playing with it on the table and hearing the marbles clack together.
Yeah.
But the app is really fun too. It translates really well. And so basically, you're just trying to put enough potions together to get the most points to win the game. There's different objectives you're trying to meet to get victory points if you do them first, or if you do the most of a certain style or the most unique number of styles of potions. And so there's a lot of different ways to score, which I always enjoy games like that.
Yes.
And it's quick, on especially in the app form,
Mm.
and I definitely enjoyed it.
Cool. So you think it's a worthy implementation of the tabletop game?
Yeah, I do. I it's interesting watching some of them transfer over,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely think this one did well.
And you can play it like with someone over the internet, right?
Yes, you can. I did. And if I'm being honest, I didn't want to bring it up because it went that badly, but it's fine. Games are fun.
That's
It's
right.
and I had a good time. I did.
That's what matters. Okay. Next is probably the most strange game. Well, not the most because, well, you'll find out later in the show. But
Okay.
it's got a very unique theme. I'll say that, and it's called Save the Meeples.
Mm.
And in this game, you control teams of meeples. Now, this is not a co-op game; it's a everyone's competing. And what you're trying to do is, well, how the story goes is the humans are evil, and they are trying to kidnap all these meeples to use them in their board games. And so you, as a human, are trying to help these meeples, I guess, escape from other humans. I don't know how it works, but that's how it goes. And so you're trying to help save them. You're trying to help them build rocket ships to go off onto their own meeple planet. Or the other objective is to defeat the humans as they're trying to overrun you. So you've got two ways the game could end, either by a certain number of rockets launching or by a certain number of humans overtaking this particular area of the play area. So it's very interesting that it can end in two completely different ways. And what else is interesting is you get points if you can send meeples off on the spaceships. Only if the game ends by those spaceships going off. If the game ends by the humans coming along and filling up their track, all the meeples that you've put on the spaceships don't give you any points at all.
Oh.
So it's a worker placement game again. You're moving meeples around, but like, what's weird, not weird, but completely unnecessary, but super fun, is there are these four train tracks. And with these plastic trains, I haven't talked about this, have I?
No, I don't believe
Okay.
so.
And part of your actions is you load meeples on these trains, and then you move them down the track to the location where they're gonna go do their actions. And it's like, well, why don't I just put them there? But they're trains, and they're fun to play with. Um, so I don't think this game is like super available in the United States. I don't know if it's had a publisher over here. I don't think it will, honestly, because I don't think there'll be enough demand for it. But you should definitely go check it out. I'm actually doing a review on it for the Dice Tower, so that will come out the 14th. But try to
Interesting.
look up pictures of this game. It's wacky, but fun. But fun. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Sounds like something I definitely need to check out.
Yep. You got anything else, or you want me to go
uh,
ahead?
okay, so I will give one last
Okay.
since I introduced the app world. I can do one more.
Okay.
I actually played a game of Elder Sign the other night as well, and I'm gonna say it really it really frustrated me because I've been trying to beat the Cthulhu boss on there for a long time, and I was so close. I was like one turn away. But I really like the app version of that game too.
Yeah, it's good.
It transferred over really well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And I love that there are a lot of different character options, and that there are a lot of different monsters that each give you a different scenario in terms of what they bring. You know, some bring more monsters, some bring more doom, some bring a combination of both,
Right.
and it's a interesting, fun time that for me took an hour out of one of one of the nights I was laying around last week. So I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a great game that I need to play on the table again. It's been so long since I played on the table, but that is definitely a good way to play it without getting all the stuff out. Because
Definitely.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on the table when you put that one out there. So
Yes.
that's a great dice rolling, little bit of a push your luck kind of game. It's got some really great stand up and cheer moments, especially if you're playing on the table. It's like you just need that one more symbol, and you roll it, and yeah, you got it.
Yes.
But yeah, good, good mention. Okay, I've got two things left. One of them is just kind of a brief mention, but first I played the two most recent Exit games. Exit the Cemetery of the Night and also the Enchanted Forest. Now, Cemetery of the Night is one of the more challenging ones. Not the most, not the hardest one we've played, but it's definitely more challenging. I really liked it. The last couple I haven't been that taken with, but this one feels like they got back on track with how they're doing these things. So,
Okay.
definitely recommend Exit Cemetery of the Night. There's some real neat. They always find out some interesting way to use the components in that box, and they definitely did it with this one. Again, I don't know how they keep coming up with these ideas, but they're brilliant.
Right.
And then the Enchanted Forest is much more simple. It's very linear and it's more for families. So much so that we actually tried it with Emma, our 7 year old, and she loved it. She loved the whole experience.
Nice.
Um, she didn't quite wasn't quite able to, like, because it was her first time to do anything like this, but she was
Right.
following on. She was following our logic, our reasoning, and she actually did the very last most important puzzle. She solved it, or at least the part that we couldn't figure out. she
That's
she
awesome.
knew exactly what to do. So yeah, it was really cool. And she was like, I want to do another one. So we've got another escape room fanatic in our house.
I love it.
And then last, this is just a brief mention. I don't want to get too detailed into it because this is a Kickstarter game. But I did a Kickstarter preview video for Rift Knights, which is the latest game from Red Raven Games. And it's on Kickstarter right now. I think it's only on for like 10 or 11 more days. So, but it's a team game. It's team versus team. Demons versus the knights. The demons are trying to break open this seal to let more demons in, and the knights are trying to stop them. It's a great team versus team game. And again, got another playthrough of it on our channel, the Lighten Up Initiative. So go check that out if it sounds interesting to you, and check them out on Kickstarter if you want to know more.
Yeah, definitely go follow them.
Cool. All right. Are you ready for a game?
Oh, you know I'm always ready for that.
Okay. So these two games that I've come up with for this show just kind of came up. There's Board Game Gran. Hey, Board Game Gran, welcome back.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for joining us again for the show. We are just about to start a game. I've come up with these games. I'd like to think I'm pretty clever, and this one is called How Much Is It?
Okay.
So the way it works is I'm going to give you a game, and you're going to have to guess two things. You have to guess what the MSRP is,
Okay.
and then you have to try to figure out what's the cheapest you can get it for.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of Price is Right.
Gotcha.
All right, and we got another person checking in. We got Stephen Clark. Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Thank you.
Those in the chat, if you want to play along, you don't have to type it in. Just kind of think out loud. Or those playing at home, you can say it out loud, or you know, critique Seigen on what he's saying. Tell him if he's good or not. All right, here we go.
Okay.
We're gonna
I'm
start.
ready.
We're gonna start with Gloomhaven. What is the MSRP of Gloomhaven?
Ooh, oh man. I'll say $150.
Very close. 140.
Oh man, I was close.
Very
Nice.
close. Nice job. Now, how much can you get it at CoolStuffInc.com?
Ooh, um, I'll say I'll say 115.
99.99.
Oh, that's too
Get it
high.
for
Okay, okay.
$40 off. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
$40. All
man,
right.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Next, we've talked about this one quite a bit. Pandemic Legacy. Pandemic Legacy Season Zero. Brand new. Just came
Ooh.
out. What is the
Okay.
MSRP for that?
Okay. So if it's like the other ones, I would say like $80, $90.
79.99.
Ah, right on it. There we go.
Very good job. Very nice. You can get it at Cool Stuff for how much?
Ooh, they probably can't discount it too much since it just came out, but I'll say 65.
Um, very close. Are you cheating?
No,
Okay. 67.99.
I didn't even think about the fact that I could just look. No, I wouldn't do that. I
I
wouldn't
could
do
see you do it.
that.
Steven guessed the same as you. He guessed cool stuff 65. So good
Nice.
job. All right.
Cool.
Next is the very fun Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Ooh, that was a lot of fun.
What is the MSRP for that?
Okay, all right, Steven. All right, let's link up. Let's link up. Ooh. I'm gonna say $50.
54.99.
Oh, I was real close.
Yes. So the lowest price is actually on Amazon for that game. And
Oh, okay, so Amazon normally gives you a pretty good deal. So I say maybe 35.
Ooh, too low.
Oh
40,
yeah.
43.99.
Oh, that's not even that much.
No.
That's $10 though, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I got two more for you.
Okay, okay.
All right, and I've chosen some games that we've talked about on the show, or are popular.
Ah.
And so this next one is Root. Root.
Ooh.
This one's tricky. What is the MSRP of Root?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I normally oh man, interesting. I'm just gonna take a stab in the dark because it's got a lot of components. I'm gonna say 75, but that's probably too high.
Steven says 59.99. You're one penny off, Steven. It's $60.
Oh yeah, I was too
MSRP.
high.
Yeah.
Ah.
No worries. Now, this one, you'll be surprised to know that it's not discounted at all on Cool Stuff Inc. or Miniature Market.
Oh wow.
But it is, you can find a discount on Amazon
Okay.
for what price?
Okay, so it was 60.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just to follow the Amazon model, I'll say 48.99.
Not quite. 53.95.
Ah.
And but here's the thing, there are only 3 left, so buy it now.
Oh, you better hurry up.
Yes. Okay. Last one. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready for this one?
I'm excited. I gotta say, I actually have gotten closer on a lot of these than I thought I
Yeah.
would, so I feel pretty good about
You've
it.
done pretty well. Okay. Rococo. The older version,
Oh,
not the new
okay.
deluxe version, just the original.
Okay. Man, oh, and it's been a minute since I bought it too. Um, okay, I'm gonna. Man, I should know this because it's my favorite. Oh no. Okay, because I'm pretty sure I bought it for 60, but I think I bought it at a discounted price. But that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 60.
Okay, so the information you didn't have is that this game is out of print.
Oh, what? I did
Yeah,
not know that.
that's why they're doing the new printing. So you can find it on Amazon for $314.
Holy whoa, wait a minute now. That's just it's unreal.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's the only place you can buy it. You can buy it secondhand, like on Board Game Geek and that kind of thing. But if you wanted to buy it from a retailer,
Goodness.
three hundred and
Man.
fourteen dollars.
Man, y'all just come to my house. That'd be cheaper.
But here's the great thing. Here's the great thing. The deluxe version, which is not out for sale yet, but some people that backed it on Kickstarter, someone's already selling it on Board Game Geek. How much do you think you could get the deluxe version for?
Okay.
Got all those upgraded components.
Right. But it can't be 314.99. No, it can't be. Okay, but it's a rare copy, so it's got to be. Man, that guy's probably trying to make some money. Uh, I'm gonna take a stab. I'm gonna say something crazy. Let's say 250. I know that's like way wrong, but
You overshot by 100. It's 148.
you can get Rococo out of print edition for 314.99, and you can get the deluxe edition for 140. That's such a steal. Can I mean, goodness.
Yeah,
But give me that guy's number, man. I gotta get the game real quick.
I will. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks for playing along. Thank you, Steven, for joining us.
Yeah, Steven, thank you. You were sending
yeah.
me wavelengths, and we got close. Thank you.
And he did mention that Root is his favorite, so
Oh,
you're in good company there.
yeah.
We're all in good company. Oh, all right. So what we're gonna do here is something we've never done before. We're gonna take a very quick message break, and then we will be right back to the show. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Seigen's like, what is going on? I have no idea what just happened.
Well, I just went through a time warp. It's fine. It's all good. I feel great. I made it. I'm in one piece.
I did not tell him what we were doing, so. Uh, okay, so now we're gonna play down the fun a little bit. We're gonna put that away for right now, and we're gonna talk about some stuff about board games. And
Okay.
the first thing I want to talk about is something called analysis paralysis, otherwise known as AP, which is where you have so many decisions to make, or you want to make the optimal decision in a game that you get paralyzed. You can't think of what to do, so you're just stuck. Um, so, what do you think about analysis paralysis? Do you think that, first of all, is it something that you find yourself experiencing?
Um, I think the first time I played some games, maybe, but I don't think so though. I think for me, I'm just kind of like I was saying in the last episode. I'm very like for me, I'm very like let me find this one thing I can latch
Mm-hmm.
onto, and that kind of just simplifies everything for me. But there's been a game or two in the past that I've just been like, man, there's like seven things I
Mm-hmm.
don't. And then especially early on in the game when you're still trying to decide a strategy,
Yeah.
I think that's when it really can happen uh frequently because like I mean literally the world is your oyster at the beginning. Like you could
Right.
go anywhere. There's so many ways to go and so I mean yeah, I think it's happened to me once or twice, I would say.
Yeah, for me, I would probably be more prone to it than you. I do find myself, I do, I just, I have this thing about I've got to choose the perfect action. Even though like when
Mm,
the outcome comes along in this grand scheme of things, I don't care if I win or not. I just want to have fun. But at the
yeah.
same time, I'm like this action, this turn has to be perfect. And so if I do, I have like three choices, but then I try different combinations in my mind of what will happen if I do this, and then I play that in my head, and then meanwhile Lara's over there waiting. She's breaking out her phone, waiting for me to get to her. Um, but it happens, and I think initially, like my thought is because I've played with people who have really bad AP,
Mm-mm.
that you're just sitting there, um, and it's not something that you want to really push them at because they are trying to play the game, but you don't know what's going on in their head. Have you ever had any issues like with playing with people that you kind of get impatient, like maybe with your game group? Because well, you don't really play a whole lot of like thinky or European style games, right?
Yeah, I mean, Talisman was the farthest we had gone
Right.
in terms of it so far. We've done Seven Wonders, but we're
Mm-hmm.
not like, I mean, we're not deep. We're not doing anything like whoa, this is gonna take 6, 7, 8 hours, anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think from what I've seen in the past, it's I don't think it affects me too much. I mean, I do get impatient
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but I don't think I let it outwardly affect me because for me, I like right as I'm about to, I guess, like say something, I just remember, well, okay, I'm enjoying this game playing it this way, but they're enjoying this game playing it that way.
Hmm.
And so
Interesting.
who am I to tell them they shouldn't enjoy the game that way?
Yeah.
Now maybe I wouldn't play this sort of game with them again in the future, and that's okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I don't want to ever take somebody's individual enjoyment away. If that's their way of, if they love analyzing and dissecting like that,
Yeah.
then who am I to say they shouldn't be. And so that normally stops me when I'm about to, you know, be say something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you're pretty tolerant of people, and which is what Steven says. He says he's the worst at taking long turns. Thankfully, his group is tolerant, and he's trying to get better. So
Mm.
that's good that if you play with people who are like you, they're understanding of how you're wanting to approach a game, and understanding that okay, if I play with this person, it might take longer than other people, but we still like this person. They're our
R-
friend, and
Right.
it's still fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he says, his group is laid back, and they're all there to have fun. And what I think is cool is it says puzzling through a turn is fun for others. So
Yeah.
I like to take the because what I'm bad at is waiting for it to be my turn and then start to think about what I should do.
Ah.
So I'm like, okay, come on, let it be my turn. Let it be my turn. Okay, all right, now what I do? Now, in some games, that's acceptable because you really do have to wait to see what other people do before you can really take your turn.
Right.
Um, but then once you know, okay, I'm taking too long, I've got to make a decision, then like that pressure starts to build and it feels like it's much longer than it really is, probably.
Right. Yeah.
And so, my advice is, you could think about something and, but like you said, have fun with it. Don't overthink it too much because ultimately, in the end, you are playing a game and the stakes
Hmm.
aren't that high. And if you do make the wrong choice, then you still live. At least when you're playing with me. I don't know how you play games. um,
Well, and I will say too, just to piggyback off of that, I know for me, and uh, I know some of my friends do this too. Like taking that time while the other people are going to think of your turn. I definitely do that sometimes for sure. It depends on the game, of course, but I think that may be why I don't have the have AP myself because I'm just like, well, okay, all right, I'm seeing how this unfolds. Okay, I'm seeing how this unfolds. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. And
mhm,
about a turn before I get to mine, I know where I'm at.
yeah.
And then the only thing that it may not work with that strategy is like he was saying, if somebody does something that affects what you were going to do, that may throw you off a little bit. But I mean, for me, it works. And even if somebody does something that I wanted to do, it doesn't change my plan too much,
Hmm.
and keeps me rolling through the game. So
We just got a message from a bot. Do you want to be famous? Can I
oh,
block you?
uh
Yeah, blocked. Okay. It's
oh,
never
no more
happened before.
bots.
Okay. Yeah, I get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, I just gotta do something. So I do something, and then I have regret. It's, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But in the end, it's all in good fun. So
Yeah,
I
of
just thought I'd
course.
bring that up, talk about it. I haven't talked about that before.
Nice.
Um, if you are listening and you have any thoughts about AP and you want to share them with us, you can tweet to us at BGAF, um, right? At BGA, no, no, sorry, at Board Games AF
There it is. Yeah.
um, on Twitter and let us know. You can also email us, lightenupinitiative@gmail.com. Those are some ways that you can get in touch. We've got Of Dice and Men. YQR says games where the game states change constantly mixed with players with bad AP make for a bad time. He's got a few friends he won't bust certain games out with, and that's another part of the puzzle too. Is if you have people that you know that are like that, there are certain games you should just not break out. Shouldn't be an option really,
Right.
um, and especially if like you're the one holding game night and you're usually the one that like is the color, not the color, but like the person that picks the games or shows which options are, you might want to stay away from those particular ones that you know are going to be, they're going to drag on with particular people.
Right.
You don't have to be rude about it, just don't bring it
No.
up.
Yeah.
So, good point. Thanks for chiming in, of Dyson Men. Okay, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about, and we've kind of, through all of our shows, we've hit on this a little bit, but I want to talk about storytelling in games and all aspects of it, from just reading cards to actually like role playing, like basically D&D. So when it comes to a board game, what are some examples of games that you like that have storytelling elements in them?
Ooh, well, the one that was in my head the whole time you were prefacing this was Mansions of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I love it uh, because I mean, it unfolds in front of you, and then as you're going through it, especially on the app version, I mean, it's
Oh,
different things that you have to read the whole time, and I like that. I like discovering, clicking on the clues and discovering things, and then the monster shows up and you're trying to avoid it, and yeah, that's awesome. And I'm trying to think of another good example off the top of my head. Um, probably. Oh man, there actually are a few good examples of this that we've that we've talked about in the past. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think of a new like one that we haven't talked about
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can mention that you got Pandemic Legacies,
Of course, yeah,
the great, the Betrayal Legacy.
yeah,
Not any Legacy game, because I've played some that don't have that much story to them.
right.
But more so than the games on like Charterstone, for example, from Stonemaier Games, has a little bit of story, but that's not the focus of the game. Really, the game is the focus with a little bit of story tacked on.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Okay.
The Grizzled. The
Oh,
like
okay.
the war torn game where you're like trying to survive the whole time. Oh
Hmm.
man, because that game you literally you feel the fight for
Yeah.
your life in that
Hmm.
one. So that's a good one I think because the whole I mean the whole time the story is forming through it as you're trying to make it. Oh wait, I got one
Oh.
more. Okay,
Okay.
okay. This is our favorite one. Why have we talked about this? Robinson Crusoe. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh, dude! Yes, that game is so great. We love that game so much.
But is it storytelling?
You know,
That's it's a question that's hard to delineate.
you don't think so? I think so. Cause you're like, I mean, well, at least on the one we played, you were like, we were on that
Well,
island and trying to, like,
okay. I'll give it to you
you think,
because you do kind of play through this experience and you are
yeah,
drawing cards of these events that happen to you
mm-hmm,
and you react to them the way you would as a character in the game. So I think I get what you're saying there, especially with the different scenarios. Some of them are real thematic. I think story and theme are connected. Um, with a really good theme, you can play through a story or play through a game and felt like you've been part of a storytelling.
yeah,
Um, so that's definitely helpful. Steven chiming in says sometimes the best stories are the stories the players make themselves rather than a script. So that's kind of
oh
what we
yeah,
were just talking about. Like with the
mm-hmm.
Grizzled, there's not really a blurbs or flavor text to read on it, but it kind of feels like you've played through this horrible World War I experience.
It's rough, yeah,
And then with Robinson Crusoe, you kind of there are certain things happening mechanically in the game, but you kind of imagine in your head and talk about what's happening. Oh my gosh, we're doomed. There's no way. How are we going to get through this?
yeah,
And then sometimes you do. So yeah, there's some storytelling in that with that regard. Then you also have games like um, Above and Below with
mm,
little encounters, and then Near
yeah.
and Far with the encounters like that. Um, what do you think is more important though? Is story more important, or is mechanisms, the mechanics of a game, more important? Is one important than the other?
Hmm. Man, that's a hard
That
question to
is.
answer. I think because they work hand in hand, like we were saying in those other games. Because like I think that to me, Robinson Crusoe is a good storytelling game, but maybe that's because my head is working on it while the mechanisms are doing their thing. My head is filling the story in,
Mm-hmm.
and so maybe for me that I guess I could say the mechanisms because especially me coming from an acting background and I love being so creative and being in the moment. I can take a moment and blow it up,
Mm-hmm.
make it 10 times bigger in my head. And so maybe for me, I would say mechanisms just because of that.
Yeah.
But I think, it just depends on what type of gamer you are.
Yeah. That's right. That's true. Well, then you have something that's like an RPG, D&D, which is very rules light and much more about telling a story.
Yeah.
Um, and so for me, I think I'm leaning more towards you where I would like if I have to rank like the percentage of what's most important to me, I would say maybe 65% mechanisms and then whatever 35
35, yeah.
35% story. Um, I like I like doing stuff, but when it comes to something like D&D, there's not enough of a structure for me. There's not enough rules for me to follow.
Okay.
Because when you give me too much freedom, then I just like I don't know what to do. Tell me what do I do? What are my options here? Oh, you can do
Yeah.
anything. Well, no, but for real, like what can I do? You can do anything. See, that doesn't work for me because I need to
Yeah, I
know what
got you.
I can and can't do. But the
Yeah.
people that play it and are good at it are amazing and super creative. And I imagine that you're one of those people. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
of Dice and Men says, "Good mechanics will save a bad story. A good story won't save bad mechanics."
Ooh,
That's
I
a
agree with that.
very good statement. Um, you may like be able to laugh at the story, and maybe like the experience itself might be a memorable one, just because of like whatever the story is. But as far as it being a good game, definitely good story won't save it for sure.
Right. Well, and I think that may actually answer that question for us too, because at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need turn the turn base
Yeah,
needs to be fun, or you won't enjoy it. I mean, and so yeah, so that's why I would say mechanisms.
awesome. Well, if you are watching or listening and you disagree, let us know. We always like to hear different opinions and different perspectives on things. I've enjoyed the people chiming in over here on the chat, getting their perspective, and
Yeah.
it's really added to the conversation. Okay, well, my discussions don't last as long as yours because they don't not as awesome topics. But we're gonna close.
Stop that.
We're gonna close out the show with a final game. Now
Ooh.
this one I'm pretty
Okay.
proud of.
All right. Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so I'm gonna switch over to my other computer here. This game is called "Is This a Game?"
Interesting. Okay.
So I've got a list of 10 games. No, I'm not going to give you the percentage. Some of the games on this list are real, and some of them are not.
Oh, and I gotta get.
You have to
Oh.
tell me if it's a real game or not.
Okay.
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 So let's start with. We'll just get things started here with a game called Pug U.
Oh. No, that's not a game. Get it out of here.
Is
No.
Pug U a game? It is a
Oh,
game.
really? What?
So I kept the descriptions up here, and it's because this will be fun to read all about all these games.
Yeah, what is it?
Pardon,
What is it about?
pardon if you can hear my mouse moving around, but Pug U has an average rating of 3.3, and in this socially unacceptable card game, Pug U, players are tackled by awkward questions from pugs such as, "Who's got the worst professional prospects? Who needs to visit the hairdresser ASAP? Who is the most illiterate? Or who do you care about the least?"
Okay.
Can your relationships endure the revenge of the pugs?
I was gonna say a game to end all friendships, but okay.
I had a lot of fun putting this list together, by the way. Okay. All right. Next is I Smell a Rat.
Okay. That that is a game.
No.
No?
No.
How come Pug you? But okay, all right.
So what I did was I went to a random phrase generator for some of these. So that's why it's hard to tell because some of these games sound like they're random phrase generators.
I mean, well, yeah.
Okay, and I'm not gonna go back and forth, so you never know. All right.
Okay.
Next game or not game, Hugger Mugger.
Hugger Mugger. What? What? Who comes up with these? Okay. Okay. That's got to be. You know what? You know what? That's a tricky one. That's a trick. It sounds like a name generated name, but that's why I'm gonna say it is a game.
It is a game.
Yeah, let's go.
Um, the question board game Gran is asking: do you have your own channel? Do you have any of your own like YouTube channel?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Board Games to Broadway. I'm not very active on there right now, but on my goal is to get back there.
Cool. Board Games to Broadway. He's got some good
Yeah,
stuff on there because
yeah.
Seigen is a fantastic singer. Has a wonderful voice. You should sing on the show sometime.
Oh, ooh. Oh! You've been singing improv game.
Yep,
Yes,
that's all good
yes.
singing. Okay, So here's the description for Hugger Mugger: a cross between Trivial Pursuit and word games.
Mm.
Mystery word is revealed. Oh, so I guess that's maybe it's a different language. Hugger Mugger is a different language for mystery word.
Oh.
Is revealed as players solve other word puzzles, often in the form of trivia questions. Different categories require different types of questions answered. A good diversion is what it says. So when I'm looking for a
Hmm.
game, I'm not looking for a good diversion.
Yeah, for real.
And one thing I also did to put this list together is I went to the very bottom of the Board Game Geek ranking to find the most obscure games.
Okay.
Um, all right, so here's another one. Dropping like flies.
Hmm. Okay. Gosh, I don't even know what kind of game that would be. I'm just gonna take a stab in the dark. I'll swat it out. It's not a game.
You're right. It is not a game.
Okay. I'm two out of four. Hey, let's go.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
One room library.
Ooh. Mm. Gosh, man, that's what kind of game would that be? Um. Okay. I'm gonna say it's not a game.
You're correct. It is not a game.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Steven's doing good over here. He's got a pretty good track record with the answers on the questions. So good job, Steven.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, here, ready for another one?
Yeah.
Devil Bunny hates the Earth.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute now. Hold on. There's no. Okay, that's a game. There's no way.
Yes, that's a game.
Yeah, dude. That's. You don't come up with that phrase just for
It's a
fun.
random phrase generator. I'm not coming up with these. Okay, let's see. What is this? You and your friends are honest, hard-working taffy pulling machines working in Devil Bunny's taffy factory.
What?
Devil Bunny hates the Earth for reasons best left known to people who bother to think about such things, and has decided to have his revenge by releasing upon this world the most unsatisfying brand of saltwater taffy known to man. Oh my
Okay.
We have to track this game down.
I mean, we gotta try it,
We've
right?
got to. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna check mark that one. Maybe we can play
Yeah, man.
do a live stream of this show of this game. Okay. Explosive Daisy encounter.
Man, that's a tough one. That one is really tricky. Okay. Oh man, Steven, what do you think? God, I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say that it's not a game. That's a random statement.
Steven says yes.
Okay.
You say not.
Yeah.
It is not a game.
Oh yeah.
It is not a game.
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good at this
You're
one.
on to me now. Okay, let's do. Oh, how about this one? Bananas and plantains.
Oh wow. Okay, somebody really loves bananas and just trying to find the difference between. Okay, that's a game, right?
Bananas and plantains?
Yeah.
No, that is not a game.
Ah, dang. All right.
Okay. Um. Okay. Roller coaster hippo.
Mm. Okay. Ah, man, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna say that that is a game. I'm so unsure about that one.
Steven and Board Game Gran are having a lot of fun in the chat. They're answering, and Gran is having funny reactions, so that's hilarious. Sorry
Oh,
that you can't
nice.
see it. I'm gonna get it to where you can see these one of these days. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Roller Coaster Hippo.
Oh, so it is a game?
Yeah, it is a game.
Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, what is it
Uh,
about though? What?
it's a party game where players have to answer questions, mime, or model objects in clay. So it kind of sounds like Cranium. Um,
Interesting.
the hippopotamus who reaches the finishing line first wins. Along the way,
Ah,
players are given funny tasks and participate in crazy events.
interesting.
It's also been released in an advanced version as Ein Nipfel kommt selten Eileen. That's my best German.
That we we need that more
Yeah.
often.
Okay, I've got one more for you. The last one.
Okay, okay.
All right, this is where it doesn't matter everything up to this point. If you get this one right, you win. If you get it wrong, you lose.
Oh,
Doesn't matter
no
how good
pressure.
you've done. All right.
Goodness.
The bird told me to do it.
That literally can go either way. Huh. What a good way to end it. Ah, man. Okay. I am gonna I'm gonna put my bird wings on. I'm gonna fly with that one. It is a game.
So you're telling me the bird told me to do it is actually a game.
I'm flying with it. So let's hope I don't hit a building. We'll see how it goes.
You believe you can fly and you can. That is a game. The bird told me to do it is a game. By
Oh
Carl.
yes, let's go.
This is by Carl Chuddick, who is a very popular designer. This game is ranked 19,327.
Oh my goodness.
It's a point scoring game in which each player adds to a twisting, forking tree branch from his hand of cards, his or her hand. So make sure your color birds show up most on the branch and score big. Do what birds tell you to do and score bigger.
Nice.
You do it because
Interesting.
the bird told
You
you.
know, man, when we first started this, I did not think I would go 7 out of 10. So I feel good. I feel so good. I'm
You
happy.
should. Yeah. You did great. People in the chat did awesome. Thanks for participating. It was a lot of fun to see your responses.
Yeah, thanks,
Um,
guys.
and again, for anybody listening to this later, this is your opportunity to come in and have fun with us next time we record. So let me check my calendar here. That will be November the 25th. Will be the next time we
Yeah.
record. It'll be live. Let's see. Oh, I have someone chiming in. Tom from Dice Tower was recently talking how horrible that Pug U game is. How inappropriate the questions are in the game. Well, it definitely sounded inappropriate for
Oh
me,
my
for
goodness.
sure. I can see
Yeah.
how that would not be the best thing to break out.
Right.
Okay, well, before we wrap up the show, Seigen, do you have anything else to add?
Wow. Thank you for coming up with those games. That was a lot of fun. I
Good.
hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely did. I had a great time. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing this again very soon.
Yeah. And again, thanks for everyone that tuned in live. That was awesome. If you want to listen to any of our previous podcasts or future ones, depending on where you are, because you can listen to this anywhere, well, you can find us anywhere on any podcast platform of your choice. This is episode 7, so you've got 6 other episodes to listen to. We're just putting out content for your ears, and we're having a good time doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else to say, we have one more thing to say.
Okay, we're gonna get it this time.
Until next time, don't forget, board
Board
games
games
are
are fun.
There we go. We got it.
That was the closest we've ever been.
All right.